never imagined yourself on the Iron Throne.
Hello, 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 my family, Phoenix Holdings. Another AMA here, House of the Dragon token. I'm here with one of the team members. We're excited to get started here. If you are listening, you can take a look at the actual VC screen. I'm screen sharing the website from the House of Dragon token. But you know what, let's get started. So how do you want me to address you? It says...
The name is a character from the show, and it's
yes.
not the easiest thing to pronounce at first, of course. So what I go by is the name K-Jam, and just at the back there of that title is K-Jam, but I think it's being covered up a lot. But yeah, the Rhaena Targaryen, Princess Rhaena Targaryen is one of the characters in which is in the show of the House of the Dragon. So what we're doing there is we're adopting some of the names and we're adding it to the promo, and yeah, it's pretty interesting. But K-Jam RC is the name that I run by, and you can just call me that.
Awesome. I'll call you K-Jam. Yeah, that makes more sense. And I'm excited about this show that's coming up. I really loved the original series. The ending kind of bummed me out a bit, but I think it bummed everyone out. And so I'm excited for something new here. But that's not what we're here
that's
to talk
great
about.
to hear, because what we want to do is we want to be able to, through these AMAs and through these conversations, get people that are interested in the show through, the previous hype that's come from the show of the Game of the Thrones and already yourself there. And so it's fantastic to hear that and to start to build that conversation around, because so many people know about this show and many people are excited to it. And a lot of people have got an opinion on it too. So it's a conversation that we can have across many spectrums.
No, I fully agree. Amazing. What we'll do to get started then is I'll get you to introduce yourself. You've kind of already done it, but formally introduce yourself, your role on the team. Tell us a little bit about your background, even your crypto background and maybe business background, whatever it is you'd like to share. Tell us a little bit about, the team. Let us know who's on it. And then after that, just give us a brief overall of what the project is. And then I'll get into some more detailed questions about tokenomics and utility and all of that good stuff. So I'll give you the floor, sir.
Thank you, RC. Well, hi, everybody. It's a great experience to be here in the Phoenix Holdings lounge. And it's the second time I've been here. And we had great feedback from the first AMA in your group. And now we're starting off our AMA tour with yourselves as our first AMA. This is the start of the week. The token will launch this week, and we're going to be speaking in many places, but we really value the Phoenix Holdings from our previous tokens, that this is why we're here first. So thank you for the opportunity. Yeah, my name's K-Jam, and I'm a part of a team here, and we're going to be launching a token called the House of the Dragon. And the House of the Dragon is based on the HBO prequel to the Game of Thrones that's coming on HBO on August the 21st. And myself in this team, I run through an AMA role and I through a communications role. And not only that, but I move more into a marketing and a strategizing and a community build. And I'm one of the core team members here, one of the founders of this token. And this has come from around 2 years now from working in crypto and from launching other tokens previously in the year where I was involved in DeFi yield, and we were looking at APY, LP staking, and then talking about sustainable APY. And that was the protocol in which we were talking about here in this. And what's been great is the team that I worked with then, we've kept together. And what we've done is we've even managed to move through 2 tokens, creating an ecosystem, to then having a community, and have been able to keep that community together, keep people interested in us as a team. Nothing went wrong, nothing was rugged, no suspicion, no scam. People believe in us as a team. The overall market can affect different protocols, so we're still together, we're still pushing. And what's even been great, RC, is that we've managed to bring some of that community into the token and even into the core team. So right now, we're sitting at 5 people in the core team with other people around the sides. And what we're managing to do there in this is have such a broad spectrum from points of view from people in crypto. And we brought in people that maybe were not used to working in a team, and people that have really shined and really pushed out. So we've got myself running the AMA and the communications. We've got people that are in this team that have been able to run contacts and other logistics and other ideas. What's the best launch? What's the best strategy? What's the best way to do this? these are people that work for other AMA groups. Some of the best contacts you can get is through those. Now, we've got a dev in which takes care of all of our Solidity and our deployment. And on top of that, we've got some, real great people that have got marketing abilities that we're bringing in to help us run this as well. So that's a team that's been together for a while. It's a team that our community have respected and understood, and it's a team that have allowed other people to come together with us. And in this type of market that we're in, DeFi yield is great, but it's not really the thing. So as we were talking about what next to do, where can we get the money we need to launch the next token, to build the next piece of DeFi, because we're ambitious, courageous, and we're very confident as a team, but we want to be like crypto builders. We want to be building in the DeFi space. It's what I'm passionate about. It's what we all like. So what do we do? And, the meme season's here. It's the coin of the meme right now with this type of market. And so looking at different roles is what to do, and being experienced with how we can keep that token alive, because at the beginning, it's always like, you've got a boat and you're trying to get off the beach, and you've got to get through those waves. And once you're through there, you're totally flat. That's the stage we're at. And through the conversation with the community and the team that we had and what we've got now, we came to a point where we were thinking, what about the legacy hype? What can hype a token and keep a token alive? And so what we're doing here is we're attaching our skill set and our experience and our existing community, and we're putting that together, and we're going to launch a token that's going to be based on the legacy hype of the real world, which is the House of the Dragon HBO. And that came to us as an idea through one of our members when we were talking about launching a meme token, because the meme tokens can have one thing or another, but they're short-lived. And how can you keep a token going? What's going to keep its heartbeat going beyond those first few pumps when the marketing money comes in? And we think we might just have it here. Now, we're not going to be alone here, because what we're doing is we're timing a trend, and we're basing this on a trend that's going to come in the real world and then sink into the crypto world, as you see everywhere. So what we did is we strategized as a team, as a community. We put this together, and what we can do from here is we can leapfrog into different places, and we can keep building in DeFi, and we can keep being flexible, fluid, and follow the market and see where it takes us. So right now, we're set with the House of the Dragon token on our first AMA here in the Felix Lounge, ready to open up all the questions, all the answers, and to get this conversation rolling.
Brilliant. I'm excited about that. I really love when teams come out with something that is relevant for the exact moment. When it's a meme token, it really shows the grasp of the minds understanding what the community is looking for. They're in the meme world. It's always about hype. It's about relevance, whatever it is that can be grasped onto, that is what we believe that will bring more people together. So I think you guys have a great idea here, and I'm really curious to find out more about the utilities. We'll talk more about marketing later, of course, tokenomics. But briefly, what if you could just go over bird's eye view, kind of what the utilities are, the passive income opportunities, and then we'll talk a little bit more about that, and we'll talk about some marketing after that as well, if you'd like to go ahead.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. So really important. And that's another thing. So when you're launching a token, how are we going to keep its heartbeat alive? This is our thinking. This is our strategy. Let's connect it to the legacy world. Let's hitchhike a ride down the HBO premiere, But of course, there needs to be more than that. There needs to be an incentive for the individual to want to invest. And right now in the crypto space, utility is the word. What can we achieve with utility? We're going out with utility. We are really trying to focus on that. Now, we're not shy to understand that the utility is going to be the thing that drives the token, but it's definitely going to be the thing that allows the token to have seriousness in terms of the investor, and for it to be able to have a footing, let's say, early on. So we're going to go down the route with NFTs. We're going to go down the route with a play to earn game. We're going to go down the route with a dashboard. And what we've got really, what I think is really cool about it, is that the dashboard that we've got is going to come in between 48 to 72 hours. And what that's going to do, it's going to have a market cap, all the information about the token on there with a price. It'll have a swap section. You'll be able to have a portfolio tracker, and you'll be able to have a multi-chart system. And this is something you're seeing across, the spectrum of different tokens now. And what it's doing is it's giving the the investor, the person that's there in your project, a little bit more tools in their toolbox in order to advance their crypto sense. And that's what we want to do when we're a team, because we like to create a community, we like to keep a community, we like to expand the community. And when we come from a background of like DeFi yield, we understand that the dashboards are a great incentive. So it's like an add-on feature to our utility, having this dashboard for the individual that they can get so much more from just by holding our token and connecting the wallet. But when it comes to like the real utility that we're trying to push, when we've got the NFTs, so the NFTs, we've got a guy called Ali B working on them, and they should be coming by the end of the week. Now, we haven't got an example of that. Sorry there, RC, I cut out. Yeah, the NFTs, we're running with someone called Ali B on the NFTs, and they should be ready for about 1 to 2 days after launch. Now, what they're going to do is they're going to rate through different types of rarities with common, legendary, and then they're also going to be able to be used within the play to earn game. And the play to earn game, you're going to be able to have those NFTs and use them. And as well as that, in the play to earn game, you're going to be able to stake the NFTs as well. So we're going to be able to run the play to earn game. It'll be like a dragon game, and we're going to be able to have hunts, and people can enhance their NFT collection. There's so many things coming from that, in which we're going to be able to explain more as the week develops. And this is not a token that's going to have the time span of, let's say, weeks before the premiere, before we have these NFTs and these utilities. These are something that are coming in what looks like the end of this week. And this is why we're excited to be able to get this token out there, to show that we're a skilled team, that we've got connections, we've got developers, we can get people to build DApps, we can get people to build play to earn games. We've done things in the past, we can do it again, and we can keep deploying, keep expanding, keep growing, and keep making utility for this token. But right now, the NFT staking, which everyone's familiar with, play to earn game, where you can use the NFTs, everyone's familiar with, and a built-in dashboard, which maybe some people are familiar with, this is what we've got coming now.
Brilliant. Okay, I'm excited. So we've got NFTs, we've got gaming, you've got a dashboard. So you guys are all prepped. Of course, we are the very first AMA, so we're early. So these things aren't accessible yet as you're still building. Beautiful, man. Okay, so what type of can you walk us through a little bit of what would be the process of the game? So first we'll be buying the NFTs. Will we be buying the NFTs off your website? I'm sorry if you mentioned that. I failed to hear.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. There's like so much to explain within these utilities. And with it being the first AMA, I myself am trying to understand how to get all that out. It sounds like a mouthful, yeah. And of course, so the play to earn game is in a development stage whereby I wouldn't be able to go into too much. But one thing we can say is that the players in the game will be able to level up their NFTs by doing hunts. And in those hunts, you'll be able to earn tokens through doing the different types of hunts. And you'll be able to spend tokens to enable the character, once exhausted, to do more hunts. And from those hunts, which will be based on the NFT rarity, you'll be able to expand through that. So there's going to be a connection with the NFTs, with the play to earn. And in terms of how that works, it's right now the best thing I can say is that it's like a hunt, like a hunting game. And when it comes to the staking, of course, so we got Ali B, and what he's doing is from Spain, a great guy, great crypto builder, great in DeFi. What he's doing is he's going to produce the NFTs for us. And what we're going to do first is create the main 9 characters. Now, those main 9 characters you'll find off the HBO website. They'll be the ones that we're going to push in, and then we're going to expand from there with the extra cast. And what you're going to be able to do there is you're going to be able to mint them on our website. We're going to have our own minting DApp, and you'll be able to purchase and mint directly through our own website. Yeah.
All right, beautiful. And then the game, it will be Web3, I'm guessing, so we'll connect through the website as well to play the game.
Yeah, that's right. Web3 Connect, so you'll be able to connect your wallet, and you'll be able to see your NFTs in there. And I pretty much believe you will need the NFTs in order to play it.
Okay, so there'll be a base cost to get in, which will be the cost of the NFT. It won't be a free-to-play game. That's
right. So you'll need the NFTs in which to play the game.
Okay, cool. What makes this game unique? How much What makes it unique? Number one, obviously, beyond it being a House of Dragon, you know,
Mm,
game, that makes it
yeah,
unique. You guys are the first House of Dragon token. Also,
yeah.
how much can be earned daily? And will there be any sorts of protections from people, you know, trying to game the game?
Yeah, of course. And you know, I've got experience in play to earn. It was actually one of the first places that I entered the crypto space in. And I did find that there was those manipulations throughout. And it might only be cent, you know, it might only be a small amount, but people will manipulate it. They'll do it repetitively over days and it'll cause problems. So you have to be, you know, sure about this kind of thing. You know, it's an interesting question there. I think, you know, one thing we're looking at is we're not trying to push the game as our main utility. We're not trying to say this is a play to earn game. What we're trying to do here is to have a team and a community and build something that can get out of those waves into the open water and move further, whereby then we can expand in this crypto space. Because right now, what we're doing is we're developing an idea. We're putting money out into developing a play to earn game. There's a game developer coming and he's having space to be able to build something in this DeFi space and everyone around can use it. And we're going to keep expanding out and doing that. So I think having the luxury to be able to say, what do people want? People want a play to earn. People want these kind of things right now. Let's develop them. But yeah, I don't want to get stuck on that. It's the main utility or that there's like a main focus on the game. But it will be a game that people are familiar with Web3 Connect, with the NFT staking on the NFT playing games. It'll be very familiar. What could be the uniqueness? I guess again, we're not pushing for it to be like a unique play to earn game, but of course, it will be representative of what we're doing in terms of the pump. So if this legacy hype does work out, if this is the thing we need to keep the project alive, this can be an outside heartbeat that can be better than when marketing, when does the premiere drop, when does the next HBO thing. If this is the thing that can keep us alive, then this play to earn game is going to be able to add to the community's usage. It's going to add just to the overall buffer of the token, and we can expand it from there to make it something really unique. But right now, yeah, it's going to be based on a visual narrative similarity of a dragon-based game, which is going to be, you know, narratively surrounded around the HBO drop. But again, in terms of like how much you can get and all of these details, it's not something that I fully got right now. Again, because we're not pushing that as the main hype, and the NFTs will be coming first. That's the exciting thing, that once they drop the end of this week, close to launch, people will be able to mint them. People will be able to see how they're going to be then put into the game, and then more information once that game starts to get developed as to what could be the advantage for the individuals to how much they could earn.
Nice. And I'm not sure if you mentioned this, but just to clarify, the NFTs will be on the Binance Smart Chain. Is that true?
That's right. Yeah, yeah. Whole token on the Binance Smart Chain, House of Dragon BSC, and yeah, it's there on the Binance Smart Chain. That's the chain that we're pushing. That's the chain that we like to roll on as a team, and we got the little logo there, as you can see in our Dragon too.
It's pretty cool. I think for people who are lovers of the series, this might even be a collectible. You know, these NFTs. It's something to think about. I don't think that at least I haven't seen, you know, Game of Thrones NFT yet. I think when that was out, NFTs weren't really big yet, so it's an opportunity for you guys there. Okay, let's talk a little bit about. So you've got the game. And just really quickly for people, I've seen a few new people have joined. So you've got a P2E game, and then let's just go over just point by point really quickly again. What are the other
Yeah.
utilities
So we got
and
the NFTs.
passive income abilities?
Sure, the NFTs that you mentioned there, in which you can stake them, and those staked NFTs, they're going to be based on a different APY based on their rarity. So in terms of the passive income, the different NFTs that you purchase based on their rarity are going to be able to present a APY yield for you to be able to generate from there. And we've also got a dashboard coming in which you'll be able to have loads of information about the token. You'll be able to swap in there, and you'll be able to have a portfolio tracker. You'll be able to have multi-chart tracker. There'll be loads of utilities inside our dashboard that you as an investor can use and just have a better crypto experience when you're floating around the space. So right now, three things, but we're super ambitious, you know, RC. We're super serious, and that's why we've got this kind of token, because this is what we can achieve now. This is the contacts we've got. This is what's happening in the space. These are the people we can message, and this is who's coming on board. And once we get to a point, and this is a great thing about this app, the TV series will launch 4 weeks from now. So when this token launches this week, it's not about what comes next. We've got that gap whereby we can keep pumping until the next 4 weeks, and then we can go from there. So what kind of utility can we go with next? Where will we stop? And that's the question, because we won't stop, and the community are going to ask for more all the time. New ideas are going to come in, the team's going to grow, and we can expand anything. We're pretty ambitious, and like I said, we're about building in DeFi. I think that's the key thing for this team. But when we're building in DeFi, when we're creating these kind of tokens and these smart contracts, you've got that problem of being able to keep the longevity. Unless you've got a very serious protocol that you're going to push for years and years and years, then you might be able to survive and keep going. But a lot of the time, ideas come and go, teams come and go, investors come and go. How do we keep the backbone of the token alive? How do we keep it pumping? And how do we stop that, pump dump culture that we've got right now? So what could we do when it comes to utility? I think it's endless, and that's the exciting thing.
Yeah, you're bang on, man. Right now, it's the P and D vibe is so real, and people are wary of it. So anything that a team can do to combat that is excellent, and very aware as well. So obviously, your team is very aware, and as you spoke at the beginning, for those who were just joining, you have quite a strong team, and you're affiliated with some other excellent projects. So you guys aren't new; you're quite established. Which is exciting for me. Okay, so when you talk about NFT utilities and different NFTs having different yields when it comes to NFT staking, are you able to give us any sneak peeks, any alpha of which card we're going to want to be after? Even if you could just tell us one, just a little sneak peek.
Wow, excellent. Well, I think a lot of people are really interested in this, and our developer, who is starting work on this today, is really excited too. And there's a lot for everyone to see. So right now, have we got a sneak peek? No, keep an eye on us. They'll be coming. But one thing, in a sense of like some literature of sneak peek, one thing we're looking at is it's going to go from common to legendary in terms of the APY for when you can stake them. But for every user that will be lucky enough to mint a legendary NFT, you will also receive a 500 BUSD, cash prize. So when you also mint that legendary one, you'll also be granted with $500. So we're giving out incentives like that. But in terms of like a visual sneak peek, that's what's great. That's what's really great about this, is that we've got the basis to go off, which is the HBO show. We've got the prequel, which is the Game of Thrones. There's a conversation there. People understand it. We can present this to a play to earn. We can present this to an NFT artist. We can build a dashboard, and we can put it all together. And that sounds exciting, but we're so early on this journey that it's all happening this week that all of that's going to come. And we're so like at the beginning that even the preview is something that I'm anticipating. And it's exciting, RC, that you're also anticipating yourself.
Stoked. I actually, I'm a fan of the series, but I didn't know that this was even coming. So like, I'm really stoked right now because I'm kind of just finding out that there's a new series coming of the prequel, and I feel like we've been pretty dry when it comes to fantasy based, dragons and warlocks and all that sort of stuff type movies or series, and so I'm really welcoming this. I love this sort of stuff.
Perfect.
It's my wheelhouse, man.
How do you think, like, what's interesting too is like how HBO would release it, whether they release episode per week or it comes out in one full go, and so we can have that sustained interest from people waiting for it. But overall, I think what you say is really exciting, RC, and I what we're trying to do here is we're trying to predict the trend. And that's the thing in crypto. There's so many trends. When you look at something, why did this happen? How did this happen? It's a trend. So generally, you're following a trend, you're in a trend, or you're ignoring the trend, or you're creating the one. Okay, and that's kind of like, I feel like where we're at. And I tell you what, RC, it's been a really exciting pace, because this pace is being set by HBO. It's been set by so many different things, and it feels exciting to be connected to something outside. And when this starts to air and starts to spread around the world, I think there will be a lot of interest in it. And I think that there's something that we could capitalize on there as a crypto space. And when you hear people saying, well, this is HBO's token, this is that. What's great is that these early days of DeFi, there wouldn't need to be a team like us putting together a token like this. If HBO came and built their own House of Dragon token, that'd be excellent. Everyone would love that. It would look great. They've got the budget to do it. They could make amazing utility for that, but they don't. So right now in the DeFi space, we're building this. We're skinning HBO into the blockchain. We're creating them just like the early days of people putting music on the internet and streaming it and downloading it. The music culture had to change. The industry had to follow them. And I think this is a great example of something that's huge around the world, something that's going to create a lot of trend, but that's something that is just completely ignoring cryptocurrency, DeFi, the blockchain, the technology in which people are moving to. And it's something that, crypto builders like us, we can put together, map, skin, and present to fans here on the crypto space, fans here on the blockchain, and give them an added bonus to the TV show. And when you're fans of something or you're interested in something, you always want something more, something extra. And outside of the people that are interested in it, whether people don't like fantasy or not, you've got the opportunity to have that ability to jump on board of that trend if it becomes a trend.
I totally agree, and we've seen precedent set. You've seen your money heist tokens, you've seen all sorts of tokens that have attached themselves. What was another one? Squid Games, that attached themselves to really hyped either television series or whatever. Right? Not much more is as hyped as this series. As the House of the Dragon will be, in my opinion. I think people are really going to be hyped on this. You guys are the first on it, so it's exciting. It's exciting that this is the first AMA that you guys are holding as well for this token at Phoenix Holdings. So thank you for that. So let's just go over really quickly again for people. So there's going to be a P2E game. You're going to have an NFT to play it. Besides that, your NFTs are going to be stakeable, and there's going to be APY. Different sets of APY for each of the NFTs that are out there. So obviously the rarer ones are going to have higher APY. So you're going to want to pay attention to these NFTs, and they're not released yet because it's pretty early. And like I said, we are the first AMA, so it gives everyone an opportunity to go and set their alerts so that they can be the first on the bandwagon when it comes out. They are going to do some pretty crazy marketing, and obviously the first marketing is going to be attaching themselves to this token. But we haven't really talked too much about marketing, so maybe we can go into that. Just overall, what are your marketing plans? I won't ask anything specific because I know that our community will ask a lot of marketing questions, and I don't want to rug them. So, just overall bird's eye view marketing.
Yeah,
please go ahead.
Well, sure. Then this is an important thing, and it's something that we need. The token needs it. We've got this hype in the background. We're tracing the legacy world, but we need the internal hype to be able to get us through there, and that's the marketing. So we're doing an AMA tour. I'll be able to speak across the board all week. We got an AMA coming after this AMA. It's coming at 7 p.m. We've got one coming tomorrow, and we're going to plan to do 2 to 3 a day. And that's going to run all week. We've got a whole list of different AMA groups that we're going to be speaking in. And we're speaking in these groups to get the word out because it's really important to be able to speak and have the communication value. That's what we're really powerful about. When we've been powerful about this for our other tokens too. Have conversation, allow participation, spread the word naturally like this. Now, outside of that, we've been looking at bringing in different marketers to be able to help us. Now, we're currently working with a marketer called Rabs, and what he's doing is he's helping us out with some strategy and what we could do there. So we bring people in which can help us out. We're moving to do partnerships with different people, and some of this stuff can come out clearer as the week unfolds because things are developing right now. So we're partnershiping ourselves with people. We're trying to bring ourselves to have a bigger communication. We're allowing ourselves to bring in experts in order to strategize how we should do this. And one really important thing, RC, which I really want to clarify on, is the importance of getting this token on CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko. And that's something that is a priority for us. So right now, we've got a private sale active. We've got a pre-sale coming this week. And then we're going to push really hard to have our listing on CoinMarketCap. And then we've got that week. We've got that week to 2 to 3 weeks in between when the show comes. That's when our utility can really shine. and people can really hold and really start to develop the token. Once that happens, when it comes closer to the show, the strategies are still there. We're still open in conversation about this. What would be the best kind of strategy to get the attention out there once the show's premiering? People have got their opinions. So we've got some great ideas coming there, and we've got a few weeks in order to strategize what kind of marketing would be better for that. So we got marketing money to hold on to for the premiere. We got money invested now in which to build this utility. We got money coming in a sense of people joining this with a private sale, and then we've got a pre-sale coming soon, and all of those things can aid in which direction we go with marketing. But one thing we're doing is we're bringing experienced people on board. We're paying them the right amount of money that they need because we need the right people, and we're taking this very serious because this hype only comes once. This train is moving fast, and we know exactly what we're dealing with. We're grown adults, we're experienced, and we're not going to get burnt by this. So we're taking it real serious. But when it comes to marketing, we're super open to ideas too. And that's what's a great thing about a team. You've got to be flexible. You got to be flexible. You got to be experienced, and what works and what doesn't work. It's so fascinating in this space to see. And one thing that we really need is to have longevity. But one thing that's really important, and I refocused on it before, was CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko. And if we can get the House of the Dragon name to one of those platforms, we can just sit back and get ready for the premiere.
Beautiful. Man, kind of like what happened with, either Money Heist or Squid Games. Once it got onto like Twitter, and once it got out there that there was a token that was attached to it, it just really took off, and I foresee it happening with you guys too. I think that the series is going to be probably the biggest series of the year. Everybody loves that series. And also I think that because the last one made so many people kind of disappointed with the ending, they probably wanted to see Jon Snow and the Targaryen princess ride off into the sunset or something, which obviously didn't happen. Now people are going to want to have a little bit more of the action with the prequel. I know I do. So, I mean, I think the sky's the limit, guys.
I think it is. I think it really is, and that's what's really exciting about being on this project too, is that being connected to this kind of legacy hype. There's a great reference I used, which was the Will Smith token. I can't remember if it was actually titled that, but it was around the time of the Oscars, and that went crazy. Like connecting yourself to the legacy world on the blockchain has some form of a direction. And if we can be early, if we can be serious about our utility, we're not just going to promise the utility, we're going to produce it. We're going to produce it this week. You're going to see the NFTs you can stake right around our launch time. Play to earn game has to come out way before the premiere. If we can be serious enough to be able to get ourselves there, get ourselves on the CoinMarketCap, we could be setting ourselves up to be able to ride the hype. And we won't be the only ones riding the hype. The hype will be everywhere. And that's what's really exciting about this team and this project. It's something new for me. And yeah, I feel the pace. I do. Every time, like HBO recently released a new trailer, they're going to start ramping up their own hype as the weeks go on and it gets closer to premiere. So we can ramp, they can ramp, and we can all, have this existence of being excited for an end result, which is not only a money up concept for the cryptocurrency investor, but also being able to watch some culture, some drama, or something that like humanity has created in 2022, and sit back and enjoy the spectacle of a huge budget HBO show.
Man, I'm getting fired up, and it'll be a nice break from the world news that is taking over right now. It'll just be nice to be able to just melt away into a great HBO series and make some money off of an incredible project. Let's get into the next aspect here of this AMA, which would be tokenomics. Pop over here. I believe that you guys have that all set up for me. Here we are. So you've got 6% buy, 6% sell. You've got 30% going to pre-sale, 20% to staking, 20% P2E rewards. Oh, we have not talked about the rewards much yet. I'll let the questions come for that from the community.
Yeah.
Liquidity is it says 15-3%. No, I'm not sure what that means. What does that mean?
Let's have a look on the chart there. I'm not sure. Maybe the way that it broke it down, I'm not sure. We'll have to look in to see why we've got that comma and 3%.
Okay.
But the tokenomic breakdown actually of the 6%, I don't think it's on the website, and that goes to 2% goes to liquidity pool and 4% goes to the marketing, and that's on both of those 6% there. So again, that's another great thing to mention. Actually, the 6%, we've had a lot of feedback on that. That's great. People like low taxes. 6% is quite comfortable in the middle. You know, we all like that 1 to 2% to buy and sell, but you know, 6% is pretty. It's pretty good. And if you're buying a token right now, you're probably looking at 10 above sometimes. So 6% we found has been a really nice meeting ground for the community.
I can't agree more. I think from what we're used to, and let's be honest, almost every single person in here is, an educated and mature BSC investor, and the other ones are trying to, who aren't as educated. They're here to become educated. So, 6% is quite low for a tax from what we've been seeing lately. We've been seeing a lot of like 15 to 18% sometimes, often.
Yeah.
Tokens are employing high taxes at the beginning. We like to call them jail taxes, just because it feels like you're in jail.
Right. Yeah, that's
to 30 to 40% sell tax.
Okay.
So it's really refreshing that you guys are going to stick. Well, I suppose I should make sure that you are. Will you be sticking to the 6%?
It's locked. Yeah, it's locked. We
Beautiful.
can't change that. We do have a custom contract for this smart contract. It has been custom made for this particular one. It's not a fork, and there is things we can do to be able to. It's not renounced, but there's things that we can do to have flexibility. But one thing that we're pretty sure on, and we always have been as a team, is fixing those taxes, because people like that, and it's quite common now. You see that people will adjust them. Gives anxiety to investors. Gives anxiety to me as an investor. Or when there's a poll, shall we increase this? Shall we do that? And I'm thinking, oh my God, once they start moving them, who knows where the boundaries are going to end. So yeah, 6% buy and sell is fixed, and it will always remain.
It always shocks me when they put those polls up and you see people voting for the higher sell tax. In my mind, I'm like, I don't know anyone, literally anyone, who would vote yes, and it's like 70% yes. What is going on?
I know. I see them, and then I think, oh no, this is going to start getting broken. Then they start keep changing. They never stay the same. They're always moving around. Yeah.
And it's usually always the same result.
Yeah.
It's not a good one. So I really appreciate that you guys have locked that. That's really great. Okay, so when it comes to contracts, people would like to always know about your audits and about your dev team. So who will you be getting audited by? Also, will your dev team be in-house, third party, and are you able to tell us the name of the dev?
Yeah, great question, and I like it that it's approached like that, because a lot of people, don't structure it like that, and a lot of the time it can be in-house, third party. You can be contracted work. It can be different aspects. When it comes to the solidity, it can be different aspects. So yeah, what we've got is we've got an in-house dev, and that dev, it's not a dev I would say that would be a known name. He's a part of our core team. You can see him in the main chat, called Mao, and he will run the smart contract with the deployment and the tokenomics, and has most things set up when it comes to that. But we have used in the past, and we still do use third-party developers if we need to enhance different parts of the solidity, if we need to change different parts of the contract. But this has been an in-house contract developed by our in-house dev, and an experienced dev that's come from the last two projects that we've worked on, which is one of the projects we've spoken here about, and projects that anyone can find out about if they ask us in our group. We can discuss that. But of course, like being able to have the ability to have a third party add on to you, it's fine. It's not a dangerous thing. It's a fine thing. It's expanding your skill set, and there's so many people out there now that offer like a service as opposed to just doing the whole thing. They do like one aspect. And when it comes to like the security of it, it has to be really important. Now, the audits are there for a reason. They're there for us to be able to see vulnerabilities that we might have missed. They're there for us to to be able to give the investor some relaxation, because they like to see that too. But yeah, what we haven't got an audit just yet. Audits will come in terms of like who we will use. There's a few that we've used in the past, like Fresh Coins, of course, people like the big name Certic. But I think what we'll do is we'll progress through some smaller ones, some free ones, and then we'll progress into a bigger one. But when it comes to the security, the team has been here all the time. But one thing we do need to look at, and it's important, is that any vulnerabilities that we've missed, in a sense, that could offer problems in the past if there was some rogue activity from individuals. But in terms of who's got control of the contract and the wallets, that's our dev, and the dev's part of the team, and everyone's confident with him there.
Beautiful. And so I appreciate it when the dev is known by the rest of the team, and if he is the only one with access to the contract, the only one who can call functions, it's a beautiful thing.
We do have to, sometimes if you use a third party, there may be some control in the development stage, but once you deploy that contract, once you add liquidity, and once that one individual's got full control and that individual's a part of the team, everyone can be pretty safe knowing that there's no one external that can come in and do anything rogue.
Will you guys be renouncing, or will you be keeping it open? There's different reasons why you would not renounce, of course.
Keeping it open with this token. We have done a renounce token in the past. Sometimes that does aid, that can be helpful. But for this one, the contract will be keeping it open, just for things that we might need to do in the future, things that we might need to change. Just gives the team a lot more flexibility.
Okay, beautiful. Now, you know what? I'll leave that question for the community. That one would definitely rug people. Okay, so we've gone through the different utilities. I'm not going to talk about them again because we've talked about them quite a bit. We've gone over the marketing, and we've gone over the tokenomics. Is there... Actually, what I'll do is something that I always like to do with AMAs, and it's more of like an educational thing, I suppose, which would be you knowing what you know about this token. If you were, to invest, how would you approach it? What would be your process to make the most money? Basically, this isn't financial advice, but it's more of like a insight on, because you obviously know the ins and outs of this, of how to make the most money. So how would you approach it to make the most money on this project?
Yeah, great. What a great question that is. I never really get asked that in an AMA, and you're sort of turning it there on me as to like what I would do. And of course, I've got an opinion on that. So that's a really great insight. I guess it comes down to individual choice, because each person I find in crypto have got their own preference about what they like. Right now, we've got Rabs controlling our private sale. Most of that's filled, but there is still opportunity there, and we're looking to fill that. We've got a 70 BNB hard cap. You get a 15% better deal when you're going into the private sale. Now, some people love private sale. Some people send a wallet address, some BNB that they have no idea who it is before the project's even got 100 people in a Telegram group, and they feel completely comfortable with that. That is obviously going to have the biggest upside if the token was to be successful. Not always, though. But then again, you've got pink sale. Now, people love pink sale. You can go into pink sale. You can join the pre-sale. People love pre-sales all the time. People going into it. And you've got people that don't like pre-sale, and you've got people that don't like private. So then you've got a live token. You've got a live token. You're on PooCoin. There it is. You can see the price chart action. You get people who want to buy the dip. Personally, when it comes into investing, generally what I do is I buy the dips. I love to see the project successful. I love to see things moving. I love to be like late to the party, and I like to buy those dips. And that's how I would approach things. But it doesn't always mean that's the best way. But certainly if you buy in the bottom, you're going to have more chance than buying the top. But of course, if you're an individual right now looking at what's the best strategy for you, you've got 3 options. And all of those options are available because you're so early. Private, pre-sale, or buy the live chart. And then another thing to look at is that what usually happens with this, and this is something that we've really strategized as a team, as to what's the kind of launch we need. How should we do it? We are doing a fair launch. It is going to be a pink sale fair launch, and that's going to come on July the 30th. That's going to come this week on July the 30th. And one thing that we were looking at, then that's this Saturday, is what's the best thing, because we don't want to launch pre-sale token and then have that chart where we see that big green and the big red dip, and it goes all the way down, and then the pre-sale sell, or you get a worse deal if you're on pre-sale. You should have waited till you bought the dip. There's all these different things. So what we're going to try and do here is be able to have this token go higher than it can be on the pre-sale, remain higher, and then remember, you have got the longevity of this. You've got the hype coming from HBO. The hype isn't here yet. The token is not here yet. The trend hasn't been created yet. But if you think long term and you predict crypto follows legacy trends, you'll know that in some weeks to come, this token may rise to a higher price than it is now. So depending where you buy, you'll always know that there's something down the future that's going to allow this to go up. So if the price dips, you know that what you're buying is not something that's going to go tomorrow. It's something that might go cheaper tomorrow, but it's something that's definitely going to have the opportunity to go up in the future. And that's an exciting thing for a token, because usually it's launching adios for a few days. And what can you do about it? But this has got the pump factor, and then it's got the length, and then it's got the extra factor of the HBO Premiere coming in. So yeah, I just think those three options: private sale, pre-sale, or buying the live token. Personally, how I do my crypto investing, it's buying the live token. But of course, each person has their own preference, and I think they're stuck to them. But if you're open and you're excited about doing different things, then all three are there. If you want to make the most probability towards your success, you could do all three. I mean, RC, what's your preference to investing?
Wow, it really depends upon the timing. Is the private sale available to me? If it's not, then is pre-sale available? And what is the vesting like? What is the percentage gain that I'm going to make if I enter into the private or the pre-sale? What are the taxes like? So really, it's a different approach with every project. Does the contract have anti-snipe features, for instance? You could have a really excellent project, but for some reason they forgot to put in anti-snipe, or maybe they didn't put in anti-snipe because they're trying to get on Binance later, and they understand the stringent rules that go along with getting into the bigger centralized exchanges. Like that's going to affect me as well. So if all things look good and everything looks safe for me, then I definitely will try to get into the private and the pre-sale. And I try to buy dips as well, because I just want to make as much money as possible, man. And yeah. I don't want to leave anything on the table. Of course, that's where I'm at now. I wasn't like that when I first started, of course, because I have more funds now because I've been in this for a while, right? So if I'm lower funds, when I first started, then maybe it was just choosing one. It was either the private or the pre-sale, and then trying to take profits wisely, learning when to sell, when to hold, all that sort of stuff. It's really is a puzzle,
It is such a puzzle, and it's an exciting one too. But that's what I always say. There's no key ingredient. There's no cookbook in which to launch the best token, to launch a successful token. And through all of these strategies and marketing we've been doing, and I really like that question that you raised there. It's got me thinking a lot. It's dollar cost average is the key. I always say, and that's kind of like what you're saying there, where you buy each three. Just average your way into the token, and you'll generally be able to average your way out if you needed to, or you'll be able to see the experience would be better for you if things went either way with your investment, and we've all got that anxiety. As soon as you invest, you're like, oh, what's happening? You're on edge all the time. But yeah, definitely dollar cost average across, and you'll be in a better place when it comes to the outcome of what you're looking for. I always find with myself.
100%. And then I'd say the biggest help for me in this space has been being a part of a good community such as Phoenix Holdings, where you can ask questions. You can feel that you aren't going to be ridiculed, that people are actually going to come alongside you and help you get educated. I can't even explain how much value there is for that. For the people who don't have communities such as this and they're kind of on their own, I can imagine it's quite the hard slog. So being a part of a good community is very, very important as well, in my opinion. What we can do here now is I'll give you the floor to talk about anything that maybe you feel we haven't spoken about yet, and then we'll open up for questions from the community.
Excellent. I guess the floor that I would just like to speak there is that we got the Pink Sale Fair launch coming on July the 28th. Okay, and that's starting at 7 p.m. UTC. And then that's going to run all the way until July 29th, 7 p.m. UTC. It's a 24-hour pre-sale fair launch. And then we're going to launch straight after that the following evening on July the 30th, 7 p.m. UTC. And we're looking for the 48-hour coin market cap, CoinGecko listings. And we've got an AMA tour coming this week. So get those dates in. The best thing you can do right now is just join our Telegram group. Join our Telegram group. Keep us on the notifications and keep active as to what's happening with us. But questions is fantastic. This is one of the best things about AMAs is to be able to talk to the community of the lounges and to be able to have that, human interaction. That's the best. So I'm looking forward to your questions, guys.
Beautiful. They're coming up already. I think I've got a good 15 questions here. The moment I mentioned that we were going to take questions, so that's really good. The first question that stuck out to me was from Mr. Alex Costa. And the question is, he says, my question is, in the digital world, copyright protection is extremely important. So how does it work? How is it guaranteed that HOTD token or the system will know who is the real owner of an NFT in the marketplace? And what if the people create the same NFT but change it a little bit? On your NFT marketplace, do you have a royalty feature mechanism for selling NFTs? And if so, what is the highest percentage of royalty that an NFT seller can set for his or her NFT?
Excellent question and a great subject. This is a subject that's been spoken about, and it's a subject we could talk for a long time about. We could take the whole the whole hour, and I love talking about this to different people. Firstly, let's look at the royalty aspect of it. When Ali B produces the NFTs, this is something that we could look at. More information is coming in the next 48 hours about that. Previews are probably coming in less than 24 hours. So when it comes to that, it's a really great point. I have wrote that down. When it comes to like copycats and things, I mean, we are in a decentralized space. We're in a place where you can fork contracts. We're in a space where you can do that kind of thing. I came from a culture of using LimeWire and downloading things off the internet and stuff like that. Yeah.
Me too.
So what does it mean to own something? What does copyright mean in the modern world? Of course, HBO has control over these graphics, but in the real picture of things, who really has control and who has the right to them? And that's an interesting question. It's like a podcast kind of question, and you could run on that. When it comes to the NFTs, it's important that these NFTs are unique so that they're not going to be under some form of copyright infringement, so they can be purchased and traded and used and kept for the individual to feel like they've still got something to them. So that's something that we're really pushing, and that's something that's going to definitely happen. But when it comes down to the overall copyright of this, let's say, the premiere of it or the show itself, of course, HBO on that. But outside of it, we're not scared about what we're doing. We understand what we're doing. But any attention from HBO to this token, if it be negative, is going to be positive for us. So that's the conclusion that we've come to as a team through the debation of this type of conversation around copyright.
Beautiful. I appreciate that answer. Alex, I hope that answer was sufficient for you. I'm going to go now over to the VC. We've got a bunch of hands up here. I'm going to choose, and sorry, there's no favoritism here. I'm just going to pick a random name. I'm going to go with Zoo. Zoo, I've unmuted you and allowed you to speak. Please ask your question for the team now.
Hey guys, what's up?
Hey.
Yeah. How you guys doing?
Super.
Okay, I've been listening to this AMA for quite a long time now, and it's a great one. So let me just go straight to my question, because actually I got two questions for Princess. Yeah. So my first question is based on the NFTs. Yeah. So there are so many NFTs that don't have market value, and they usually stay in their wallet, earning no profit at all. So, what plan do you have, like, to make sure that your NFTs wouldn't be like this? And also, do we need to hold your NFTs and conduct staking before we can get any interest? Hope you get the first question.
Yeah, sure, Zoo. Yeah, so it's really important, and we're not being silly when it comes to them, and that's why we're working with some professionals, and we're getting the right people in to produce our NFTs for this exact reason, because anyone can produce an NFT. It's simple enough to do it, but how do you do it effective enough so that the tokenomics of the NFTs work? Because it's just like launching a token. You have to, it's not just about deploying, you have to understand so many factors. So when it comes to that, it's something that our NFT artists and our team are looking at. How do we maintain the value of that NFT? So already you've got the staking that you can use the NFT for, and you've got the play to earn game that you can use the NFT for. There's two values. Those two utilities have to remain for those to be a value, though, of course. So then where else does the value come? The value can come from the hype from the series, and it can come from the token itself having more of a longevity, whereby then we can set up a marketplace, we can trade, we can do partnerships. This is something we're looking at, is doing a partnership with NFT marketplaces in which to be able to allow them to be tradable. So having this conversation about NFT tokenomics, sustainability, and value long-term, rather than it just stay in your wallet, like you said, is something that we're doing as a team. It's something that we're thinking about. And thanks for your question, because it's really important to ask that.
Okay, yeah. Thanks for clarifying that. And also, that would be my last question. It's a very brief question. Yeah, also it's about the NFTs also. So I just want to know, every time if someone plays the game, will the NFTs next in line earn the same amount of points as the players?
Well, this is looking into the game structure and the NFT structure and how they both combined. This is something that is too early to be able to fully understand yet, but we can theorize in different ways, different push and pulls and different options. So what you've presented there, I'll take on board, and we'll look into that. But we've got experts building the play to earn. We've got experts building the NFTs, and we've got experts in our team that understand the tokenomics to put them together for the best value of the person. So I'm not too sure right now on to be able to answer that scenario. But of course, these kind of questions are going to come up further down the line when we do AMAs, and we've got a live running play to earn, and we've got a live staking of the APY. So yeah, you've got the ability to have a passive income through the staking of the NFTs, and you've also got the ability to have a passive income through playing the play to earn. But in terms of how that scenario plays out, Zoo, not sure. You're ahead of your game.
Okay. Thanks for clarifying that. And
Thank
also,
you.
this is really a great project. Yeah. So if I got more questions, I'll come to your Telegram and ask my
Please.
question. Yeah. I'm so bullish about this project. So I will say thanks for the great opportunity. Yeah. Good
Thank you.
stuff, man.
Great questions, mate. Great questions. For the next question, I'm going to go over to the chat once again. And shoot, I lost it. Where did it go? Here it is. It's from Obers, and it says, after checking the website, House of the Dragon vision and mission is good, but it will need large user traffic to be sustainable over time. What is your marketing strategy to increase the validity of your project brand? Are you planning any strategic partnerships to level up your project?
Perfect. Great expressions too. I mean, leveling up. Hell yeah. We're super ambitious. This is a major token for us. This is something I put a lot of time into. We brought a lot of new team members into leveling up. What a great word. I write that kind of thing on a piece of paper on a day just to inspire myself. It's a great word to use. Of course, now we're talking to people about partnerships. We're talking to people about, the NFT marketing platform. We're looking at different podcasts in which we can go into, which is like the AMAs, but a little bit more expansive. And of course, we need that traffic. We need to be able to do a fast track when it comes to CMC. But outside of that, we need that traffic in order to be able to build the token into something that's going to have a longevity, because we need the volume for so many different things. So what do we do? The world's our oyster. We can do loads of things. But of course, we're taking it serious with the contacts we've got. We're pulling all the contacts in. And like I said, people from our core team are experienced individuals that work within different AMA groups. And what's been fantastic is that they've got so many contacts from their years of experience, as you yourself probably, RC, you've got. You'd be a great member of someone's core team. And so they can pull all those people in. And what's been great is that people are also excited about it. That's the great thing about DeFi, is that people are wanting to work. People are willing to help. Hey, I've got this project going. I like what you're doing. Come on board. We've had 2 marketing meetings already today. And all we do is create a Telegram group. We get one professional individual in with an idea. We come in there with our token, and things develop from there like a seed growing. And that's happening all the time. And when you've got a base team, when you've got a real team, people are willing in which to move forward with this, because everyone in this space generally is really, inspired, ambitious, and they want to develop. So how can we move the volume? How can we keep going forward? Loads of ideas, and we're not going to stop, because this is what we need to get a successful token. And that's what we want as a team. We want to be able to leapfrog from this to something else. We want to be able to build things in the DeFi space. We want to be able to have the budget and the money to be really innovative. We want to be able to help the individual and the community and the investor. But first, we need something that's going to be successful, have volume, and have long term. So maybe the hype might just do it. Maybe HBO might be the ones that give us what we need.
I really think that it will definitely do that. Just thinking about the previous projects that were tied to hyped television shows. It's almost like that's the extra marketing that you don't even have to pay for. Especially if you launch it a little bit earlier, you have your kind of staggered marketing approach. Maybe you release your utilities a little bit staggered, and then boom, the series comes out, and it's like the project has new life again. It's brilliant. It's a really intelligent way of marketing and attaching yourself to something to provide value for investors in a token. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Let's go to another person in the chat here, the VC, because you asked so nicely, and I always appreciate manners. Mr. G. Benga, please go ahead. I've allowed you to speak. Ask your question, please, my friend.
Oh, brother, thanks so much for the opportunity, man. Always appreciate, as always. The House of Dragon, this is a great project and a great presentation. I just have a lot of 2 kind of question. Firstly, I have a question going through your roadmap. I see you plan to have NFT first generation relics, and also after some couple of months, you also plan to have NFT second generation release. I'm just kind of curious, what will be the difference between first generation and second generation? Or what are the features? Someone that has first generation, will the person have access to upgrade, or how will it look like?
Yeah.
That's my first question.
Excellent question there, and what a beautiful ambience of the crickets, right? You sound like you're in a warm climate or something. Yeah, it's really soft and relaxing. I like that. Definitely don't have that sound where I am now.
No, me neither.
Yeah, but of course, that's a really great question. So what we're doing right now with the first NFTs is we don't want to just create a ton of NFTs, thousands of NFTs that are just, like Zoo was saying, going to sit in your wallet and be useless. What we're doing is we're creating the main core characters. So if you go to the HBO website, they break down the 9 characters. They're sitting in a flamed background, a really poised position. It looks really graphical. So we're taking those characters and we're going to develop those with different types of utilities into the main NFTs. And then when you scroll down on the website, or if you're looking on any website to do with the cast, you're going to get what's called additional cast members. So without that 9 being there, there's an additional cast. And I think as the TV show becomes more widespread around the world, some of these members are going to be more cooler or more like adoptive towards people's imagination. Like a character might be a smaller character in terms of his role, but people start to like that character because of who's playing it. And then all of a sudden they become more popular. So as these characters, these additional characters start to, manifest themselves as the show goes on, we can include those in the NFTs, and we can start to build the second generation of NFTs, which expand out to the additional cast. So that's what we're looking at right there on the roadmap.
Okay. Oh, perfect. I think that's great. I must be sincere. I'll see. Asked almost for the question. I'm happy when he asks question or when he handle any MR, because I will be happy that most of questions you have in mind to ask, you always cover everything and make sure investors are very educated about any project. Then lastly, going through your tokenomics, I have issue with the tokenomics, probably from my own end. I would just love a little explanation on it. You're having a fair launch. And for every fair launch project, especially P3A project, going through your tokenomics, you're having the staking 20%, P3 reward 20%, and liquidity 50%, and team tokens like that. So I'm actually don't see anything like treasury wallets or stuff like that. And for every fair launch project, to be sincere, we should just be considering investors that will be aping in during launch, during process, because it is prone to every dump, stuff like that. So for every launch project, I'm expected from my own point of view, I'm expected every launch fair launch project to have like treasury wallet or a buyback wallet, and the wallet should be stipulated the time where the buyback will be done or stuff like that. So going through your tokenomics, I actually don't know if you have the plan in other adjacent, and I would just love to know what are your plans towards every dumps or stuff like that.
Yeah, great question. And so that graphic that you're looking at on there on the website, that's just breaking down the overall supply. We've got like a 1 billion supply. That's breaking it down with what's going to happen and where those tokens are going and what they're saved with it staying the staking, the play to earn. Now, what I think you're really getting at there is the question is how it's going to break down. So when we've got that 2% going back to liquidity and the 4% going to the marketing. Now, yeah, we don't have like a designated marketing wallet as such. We don't have a wallet that you can see. Now, when we have our dashboard, you'll be able to have all the information on there. But in terms of like what it means with the 4% to the marketing, that money can be used to help with buybacks if that's something that we needed, if that's something that the community wanted to see, if that's something that the team felt was necessary at the time, we could use that. So that 4% marketing that comes from the buy and sell can be cross-used, but it's not like there's a specific wallet that's going to be able to show. And when it comes to the concern about the fair launch dump, this is something that was strategized with professional marketers and our team and ourselves. We've looked at that. We've looked at what could be the best. You know, there isn't a scenario where you can launch a token without something going wrong. It's the lesser of two evils, and what's happening at the moment and what's best for your type of project. So this is what's good for us. Of course, we're going to try and combat that dump as much as possible because we need the chart to look bullish. We're a serious team, and we don't want people to get worried and then start to sell off if the price goes down. And if it does go down, we'll be there vocal on the VC. We'll be able to do buybacks from the marketing wallet if that's what it needs, or we'll be able to get individual investors to come in to be able to scoop in that dip. But of course, there is always a risk when it comes to a fair launch with it dipping down, and that's something that we've been hearing a lot. But when you do another type of launch, there's a risk there as well. There's so many risks. But I think as we've been discussing through this AMA, not only can this launch and be successful, but you've got that time in between whereby something's going to come so that the chart and the project has longevity. And I think that's what's going to be really unique and probably allow more people to hold on, knowing what's coming down the line, rather than remove and move on to the next token that's launching in the next hour.
Oh, awesome. I clap for you from the depth of my heart for hearing this. I think this will give us, the investors, a confidence more to actually have a reason to invest in this project. That's a great moment. Thanks for the opportunity, RC. Best of luck, brother. Thank you.
Thank you for the excellent question. We're actually running out of time here. Time has just flown by. I've really enjoyed this AMA. Honestly, it's just flown, man. We're at an hour and 8 minutes already. Wow. And I feel like we still have, I have at least another 10 to 15 questions, and maybe 1, 2, 3, maybe another 12 people with their hands up. So what I will suggest, guys, and I'm sorry, it's impossible to get to all the questions. So if you still have questions, please pop over to the House of Dragons Telegram. You'll see it in our pinned message there. Ask your questions there, and I'm sure that their mods or whomever is educated over there, probably even the community members, will be happy to help you understand more about this project with whatever your question is. And I just want to say thank you to our wonderful House of Dragon host. KJAM, I've really enjoyed this AMA. I feel that you are very well versed on this project, very well spoken, and that gives the investors confidence. And as you know, in this industry, confidence is it's everything for the investors.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you, man. Please, if you'd like to close up with anything, please go ahead. But please reiterate again when the private sale is closed, when the pre-sale will open, and when the launch day is. Once again, thank you.
Thank you. And thank you, everybody in this lounge, for listening in. Thank you, RC. Again, it's been a fantastic opportunity, and I've really enjoyed it too. Time's flown by. That says a lot when time goes fast. So what a great place. I'm super psyched that we open up our AMA tour here in the Phoenix Holdings. So yeah, just to finish off on, the private sale for the token is live. Rabs, a marketer, is running the private sale. If you go into our group right now, you'll be able to participate in that. Most of it is filled, but I still think there is opportunity for people. If you want to participate, please join our group. Mention it, and we'll be able to direct you to the right space there. The launch of the token will come this week. The fair launch will start on Pink Sale, and it'll start 7 p.m. UTC on July the 28th, and it'll finish 24 hours later. And then the token will launch on July the 30th. So this Saturday, there'll be a live token based on the HBO House of Dragon prequel to the Game of Thrones. And one great quote from the prequel to be able to state, I think, is that it says, "What is this brief mortal life, if not the pursuit of legacy?" And I think what a fantastic saying is that do something with your time here on this earth. And if you've got things that you want to achieve and you're here in crypto in the DeFi space right now, and you're looking for financial freedom, go get it, and get pumped and get behind something that's got some hype. And that's what we're trying to do here. So thank you very much, guys.
I think that's probably the best closing phrase I've ever had in an AMA.
It's pretty good, right? It's the beginning of the trailer. If you watch the trailer, it's right at the beginning.
That's tattoo worthy in like Japanese caricatures or something like that. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you again, man. Like I said earlier, fully appreciate this AMA. It's been a wonderful experience. Done a lot of AMAs, and they don't all go like this. So kudos to you and your team. You guys seem very well prepared. I know it's really early, but that's really how we like to get into these projects is early before everybody else. That's when the opportunity is. So, I guess I'll close by saying you're welcome to come and join this community and give updates. In fact, we would welcome it on our way to launch day. Let us know, the bullish news coming up. Dear Lord, if you would like to bring us alpha, please, sir, bring us alpha on the wings of dragons. We would love to have it before other people. And then to the investors, I'd just like to say, as always, do your research, get to know who the team is, look into the contract, find out about all of the different details that would make you feel safe. And then, show it to your friends, help people get to know how to make money in the space. It's an opportunity that, is really a great opportunity right now before the rest of the world jumps in. We're still really early in DeFi, so help people get involved, invite them to these communities and whatnot. And that being said, good sir, Mr. K, we will let you go. I know that you're a busy man. You've got probably more AMAs to do and lots of work to do. So from the bottom of our hearts, thank you for joining us. And, we'll be cheering you guys along and looking forward to the next releases of info from your team.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And this was recorded, so we'll send it on over to you when this AMA is done. I've got some prizes to give away now, so you don't have to stick around if you don't want to. Feel free to go on with your day and go make the magic happen. But investors, stick around. I've got some nice prizes to give you guys. So
perfect. Thank you. And drop me the recording, and all this will be going on YouTube so that people can hear and track how our AMA tour has been going on. Thank you, RC.
Thank you, sir. Take care. Have a blessed day.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
You never imagined yourself on the iron